My name is Tyler Harlington. We're here in Prosser, Washington at Four Feathers Wine Services. We're a large-scale custom crush facility that processes a little over 17,000 tons a year here in Washington State. We have 6 estate vineyards located throughout eastern Washington. We're farming around 3,000 acres of estate fruit, and one of the things that's really wonderful about that is we have complete control of our grapes from the vineyard through the final product, whatever that may be for whichever customer we're working with. So for our reds, our fermenters are about 44 tons, so they're quite large. So we get these really big, thick caps. And one of the things we really use in conjunction with pump overs is the Pulsair system to help break up those caps. And we typically use the Pulsair 2 or 3 times per day to make sure that we're breaking up the caps and getting good homogenation of the red fermenters. Pulsair is a pretty cool technology. It's very straightforward. It's a long stainless steel rod that gets inserted into the fermenter, and then compressed air at about 110, 120 psi is shot into the fermenter, and it creates giant bubbles that then break up the cap, and all of the grapes kind of sink down to the bottom. It requires very small amount of training to get comfortable with it, and we run the Pulsair for about 5 minutes on our 20-ton fermenters and 10 minutes on our 44-ton fermenters. During fermentation, it's critical to the success of the ferments that oxygen is introduced. With the Pulsair, you're introducing large amounts of oxygen into the fermentation that's more of a macro oxygenation or a meso-oxygenation, where it's really helping the health of the yeast. And healthy yeast are wonderful because they don't produce any off odors or any sort of reduction. And in my experience too, from other colleagues in the industry that use Pulsair, it doesn't really sound like it's possible to overuse Pulsair, which I think that's really wonderful. As we're a custom wine facility, I'm starting to look at making wine on a smaller scale for clients that maybe don't need such large volumes of wine at a time. And Pulsair is something that I'd really like to incorporate in those smaller ferments to ensure that the wine is still getting the proper cap management that it needs.